My name's Ethan. I'm 32, and I've been married to Lauren for 6 years. We don't have kids, which her family never lets me forget, always dropping hints like it's my fault. I'm just a regular guy, work in logistics, make decent money, and try to keep the peace. Lauren's mom, Diane, is a piece of work. She's the kind of person who walks into a room and makes it about her, always acting like she's doing you a favor by letting you help her. I thought it was just her personality, but man, was I wrong. It all started last fall. Diane's apartment lease was ending, and she was making a big fuss about how she couldn't find anything affordable. Lauren's her only kid, and she's got this hold over her, always has. So, naturally, Lauren starts stressing about her mom, saying we need to step up. I wasn't thrilled, but I love Lauren, and we're doing all right financially, so I figured I could handle it. I spent weeks scouring listings, driving Diane to viewings, filling out forms. She'd nitpick everything. One place had outdated faucets, another was too far from her book club. Finally, she picked a condo because it was near her favorite coffee shop. I went all in, paid the down payment, handled the closing, even furnished the place. I'm talking new couch, kitchen table, hooked up her internet, the works. I was assembling a bookshelf while she sat downstairs sipping wine, scrolling through her phone. I kept thinking, why am I killing myself for someone who once told me my job was cute but not ambitious? She said it with a smile, like it was a joke, but it stung. Anyway, we get her settled, and for a bit, she's all smiles. Sends me texts calling me a godsend, even drops off a pie. Lauren's like, see, she's just been stressed. I wanted to buy it, but something felt off, like she was playing a part. Then things got weird. One night, we're having tacos at our place, and Diane's there. Out of nowhere, she tells Lauren, we'll need to spruce up your house next, make it more our style. I'm like, our house is fine. Lauren laughs, but she gets this nervous look. A couple days later, Diane calls, says she left some paperwork at her condo and needs me to grab it. I swing by after work, and as I'm walking up, I hear her voice through an open window, loud and clear, on speakerphone with her friends. I wasn't trying to snoop, but it's impossible not to hear. She's laughing, saying, Ethan's so easy to play. He bought me this condo, jumps when Lauren asks, and he doesn't even know we're setting him up to lose everything. We'll move into their house, take it right from him. Her friends cackle, and one says, he's lucky you even pretend to like him. Diane keeps going, mocking my family, my mom's casseroles, my dad's fishing stories, calling me a useful idiot who's too dumb to see what's coming. I'm standing there, holding her stupid paperwork, feeling like the ground's gone. My chest's tight, but I don't barge in. I just walk back to my truck, sit there, and call my buddy, Mike. I tell him what I heard, and he's quiet for a second, then says, man, that's messed up. You sure? I'm sure. I go home, don't say a word to Lauren. I need to think. I test the waters that night, say to her, your mom's got some big ideas, huh? She gets fidgety, says Diane's just dramatic, but she won't meet my eyes. Now I'm watching every move, and I'm not saying a thing. I'm not letting them play me for a fool. It's been a couple of weeks since I overheard Diane's little phone call, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I'm Ethan, 32, married to Lauren, and right now, I feel like I'm living in some kind of low-budget thriller. I haven't said anything to Lauren or Diane, just keeping my eyes open. But the more I watch, the more I see things that make my stomach turn. It's not big, dramatic stuff, just small, sneaky moves that add up, like puzzle pieces I didn't know I was putting together. First thing I noticed was Lauren's new habit of stashing our mail in her bag instead of leaving it on the counter like always. I asked her about it, casual, and she said she's just trying to stay organized. Okay, fine, but she's never cared about that before. Then Diane starts showing up at odd times. Like, last Monday, she swings by at 10 in the morning to borrow a scarf, but instead of leaving, she asks Lauren to talk in the guest room, door shut. I'm not an idiot. I know something's up. I started keeping a mental log. When Diane shows up, what she says, if anything goes missing. I even locked the desk in our home office and started carrying the key in my wallet. Paranoid? Maybe, but I'm not taking chances. One night, I'm on the couch, and Lauren's phone buzzes on the coffee table while she's in the bath. I glance over, not snooping, just looking, and see a text from Diane. Did you ask him about the property stuff yet? I don't touch her phone, but that sticks with me. Over dinner, I start poking around, saying things like, hey, what's that property thing your mom texted about? Lauren gets the sharp tone, says it's just some insurance forms, no big deal, and I shouldn't stress. But her hands are shaky, and she's dodging my eyes. It's like she's reading from a script she doesn't believe. Then Diane pulls this stunt. She calls me while I'm at the hardware store, says she's locked out of her condo and needs the spare key. I drive over, but when I get there, she's already inside, sipping coffee like nothing's wrong. She laughs, says she found her keys, but I'm not buying it. It feels like a test, like she's checking how fast I'll jump. Then she starts talking about how Lauren should have a key to her house in case something happens to me. I shut it down, say I've got everything under control. She mutters something about family trust and leaves, but her smile's all teeth. The money stuff's what really gets me. Lauren comes to me one evening, says Diane's short on cash for groceries and asks if we can pull some from our savings. I ask what happened to Diane's budget, and Lauren says there was some unexpected bill. I check our accounts later, and there's a string of small transfers, gas, coffee, miscellaneous, all going to Diane. I show Lauren and ask if she knew. She acts shocked, but her face says she's hiding something. I set up alerts on my banking app so I know every time a penny moves. I call my buddy Mike, tell him I'm starting to feel like I'm in over my head. He says, trust your gut, man, but don't do anything rash till you've got proof. So I start collecting it. I save text from Diane asking for money, snap pictures of receipts, even record a quick voice memo when she's over, complaining about how I'm not stepping up enough. It's legal, just me in my own house, covering my bases. I text my dad, say, if Diane calls you, let me know. He just replies, okay. Not much help, but that's dad, it keeps it short. Then Diane pushes for a family meeting. Lauren says her mom wants to talk about long-term plans and making things easier. I agree, but we meet at her condo, my turf. Diane's all sugar, hands me a stack of papers about emergency contacts and some legal stuff. I read it, and it's basically setting Lauren up to co-own our house and take over if I'm ever incapacitated. I say I'll think about it. Diane's face tightens, and she snaps, don't you trust your wife? I keep calm, say, I trust myself to read what I'm signing. She storms to the kitchen, slams a cabinet door. Lauren tries to smooth it over, says her mom's just worried about the future. I tell her, if it's about security, we'll get a lawyer. Lauren's mad now, says I'm making it a war. I say, I'm just making sure we're all clear. She grabs her coat, and they both leave. I'm not backing down, but I know this is just the start. I'm Ethan, still 32, still married to Lauren, but it's starting to feel like I'm living with a stranger. It's been a month since that so-called family meeting at Diane's condo, and I'm done playing nice. I heard Diane loud and clear, plotting to take me for everything, and now I'm seeing every move they make through that lens. I'm not yelling or throwing fits, just watching, planning, and locking things down. It's like I'm in a chess game I didn't sign up for, but I'm learning the rules fast. Lauren's acting different, cagey. She's always on her phone, texting Diane or scrolling through who knows what, and when I walk in, she flips it face down real quick. Last week, I caught her going through my desk drawers, saying she was looking for a pin. A pin? In a lock drawer? I didn't call her out, just changed the lock and started keeping my keys in my truck. Diane's no better. She keeps popping by our house, always with some flimsy excuse, like she needs to drop off a recipe or pick up a jacket. Every time, she lingers, poking around, asking Lauren to step outside for a quick chat. I started locking the office door whenever she's over, and I swear she notices, gives me this fake smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Money's where it's getting messy. Lauren keeps bringing up random expenses for Diane, new curtains, a phone bill, even a charity donation Diane forgot to cover. I check our accounts, and there's more transfers, small but steady, all to Diane's name. I ask Lauren, you approving these? She swears she didn't know, but her voice cracks, and she won't look at me. I move our savings to a new account, one she can't touch, and set up two-factor authentication on everything. Lauren notices, asks why I'm hiding money. I say, I'm not hiding. I'm protecting. She storms off, calls Diane, and I hear her whispering in the bedroom. I'm not just sitting there, though. I start documenting everything, screenshots of Diane's texts asking for cash, photos of bank statements, even a quick recording of her whining about how I'm stingy when she thinks I'm not listening. I'm careful, keeping it legal, just covering myself. I call my buddy Mike, tell him I'm building a paper trail. He says, smart, but don't let it eat you up, man. Easier said than done. I text my mom, say, if Diane reaches out, don't engage. She replies, got it, honey. Dad's no help, just says, stay sharp. Typical. Then Diane tries to pull me back in. She calls, all sweet, says she needs help fixing a leaky faucet at the condo. I show up, but the faucet's fine, she just wanted me there. She starts talking about how Lauren's worried about the future, and maybe we should simplify things, like adding Lauren to the house deed. I say, we're good as is. She pushes, says, family shares everything. I cut her off, tell her I'm not signing anything. Her face goes hard, and she says, you're making this harder than it needs to be. I leave, and she's still yelling about trust as I shut the door. The real kicker comes at dinner last night. I lay out copies of our bank statements on the table, not the originals, and say to Lauren and Diane, let's talk. The condo's in my name. The house is in my name. All the money's from my accounts. If you've got plans, say it now. Diane goes pale, then red, and starts in about how she's sacrificed everything for Lauren. I say, you've got a furnished condo paid for. That's plenty. She snaps, it's not enough, and tries to grab the papers. I pull them back, calm but firm. She lunges, grabs my wrist, and I step away, saying, don't touch me. She knocks over a glass, storms out, and Lauren follows, screaming that I'm destroying our family. The door slams so hard the windows rattle. I text Mike, tell him, think I just kicked the hornet's nest. He sends back a fist bump emoji. Now it's quiet at home, too quiet. Lauren's barely speaking, just glares when we pass in the hall. Diane's blowing up my phone with texts I don't answer. I'm not sure what's next, but I'm not waiting for their move. I've got my accounts locked, my papers hidden, and I'm ready to push back. Diane's used to people folding, but I'm not her doormat. Not anymore. I'm Ethan, still 32, still married to Lauren, but it's like we're roommates in a war zone now. It's been a couple of weeks since that blowout dinner where Diane tried to grab my papers and stormed out. I'm not backing down, but I'm also not sleeping much. Every day feels like I'm waiting for the next punch, and I'm starting to see just how deep this game goes. Diane's not just playing for control, she's got a whole playbook, and Lauren's either in on it or too wrapped up in her mom to see straight. Either way, I'm not letting them take me down. Lauren's getting bolder. She stopped hiding her phone, leaves it out like she wants me to see her texting Diane. Last Tuesday, I saw a message pop up. He's being difficult. Push harder. I didn't say anything, but I started keeping my phone on me at all times, even in the bathroom. Lauren's also taken to moving stuff around the house, my keys, my wallet, even my work laptop. She says it's just cleaning, but I know better. I bought a small safe for my important stuff and bolted it to the floor in the closet. She hasn't found it yet, but I catch her eyeing the closet doors sometimes. Diane's upping her game too. She shows up unannounced, like last Thursday at 7 in the evening, saying she forgot her sunglasses. She doesn't leave, just sits on the couch, talking to Lauren about future plans loud enough for me to hear. I stay in the kitchen, washing dishes, but I'm listening. She mentions securing the house and making sure Lauren's taken care of. I walk in, say, the house is secure. I've got it handled. Diane rolls her eyes, mutters something about stubborn men, and leaves. Lauren doesn't say a word, just follows her mom out. The money situation's a mess. Lauren keeps asking for loans for Diane, car repairs, a vet bill for her cat, random stuff. I check the accounts, and there's more unauthorized transfers, some labeled gifts. I confront Lauren, show her the bank app. She swears it's a mistake, but her eyes dart away. I freeze all joint accounts, move my paycheck to a new one, and tell her she's got her own card for her own expenses. She calls me controlling, says I'm punishing her mom. I say, I'm done being a cash machine. She slams the bedroom door, and I hear her on the phone with Diane, crying. I'm not just reacting anymore, I'm moving. I start cataloging everything I own, the condo, the house, every piece of furniture I bought for Diane. I take photos, make lists, save receipts. I even record a conversation where Diane's complaining about how I'm ruining her life by not helping more. It's just me in my house, staying legal. I call Mike, tell him I'm prepping for whatever's coming. He says, you're like a spy now, man. Be careful. I laugh, but it's not funny. I text my sister, Jess, say, if Diane or Lauren call, don't get sucked in. She texts back, no worries, I've got your back. Then Diane tries a new angle. She calls, says she's worried about Lauren's stress, and wants to meet to clear the air. I agree, but we do it at a coffee shop, neutral ground. She shows up with a folder, starts talking about estate planning and how Lauren should have more control over our assets. The papers are all about making Lauren co-owner of everything, house, condo, accounts. I skim them, say, I'll talk to a lawyer first. Diane snaps, why can't you just trust us? I lean back, say, trust goes both ways. She huffs, grabs her folder, and leaves. I pay for her coffee, just to keep it civil. Back home, I'm locking down tighter. I change the Wi-Fi password at the condo, tell Diane it's for maintenance. I take pictures of everything there, appliances, decor, even the rug I bought. Lauren's furious, says I'm spying on her mom. I say, I'm protecting what's mine. She leaves, stays at Diane's for the night. Now Diane's friends are texting me, people I barely know, saying I'm tearing the family apart. I save the messages, send them to Mike. He says, they're circling the wagons, man. Stay sharp. Last night, I set up a Ring camera at the house. Lauren noticed, asked why. I said, security. She didn't push, but her face said enough. I'm not sure what their next play is, but I'm not waiting to find out. Diane thinks she's got me figured out, thinks I'm some pushover she can outsmart. She's wrong. I'm not starting fights, but I'm ready to finish them. This isn't over, not by a long shot. I'm Ethan, 32, and my marriage to Lauren is hanging by a thread. It's been a wild few weeks since I put up that Ring camera, and I'm done tiptoeing around Diane's schemes. I overheard her plotting to take my house, my money, everything, and now I'm seeing their moves clear as day. I'm not raging or losing it, just focused, like I'm finally awake after sleepwalking through my own life. Diane and Lauren think they've got me cornered, but I'm flipping the board. Lauren's not even pretending anymore. She leaves notes around the house, stuff like, we need to talk about the house deed, or mom's stressed, help her out. I ignore them, keep my papers locked in the safe. She's taken to rearranging my stuff, books, tools, even my coffee mugs, like she's marking territory. I caught her trying to log into my laptop, said she was checking emails. I changed all my passwords, added extra security, and now she glares at me like I'm the bad guy. Diane's worse. She swings by almost daily, always with some sob story. Her car needs tires, her condo's AC is glitchy. I tell her to handle it herself. She calls me selfish, says family supports each other. I say family doesn't scheme behind your back, and shut the door. The money trail's getting clearer. I found more transfers to Diane, some labeled rent for her condo, which I own. I showed Lauren the bank records, asked what's going on. She mumbled about helping mom, but her story fell apart when I pressed. I canceled her access to my accounts, told her to use her own money. She screamed that I'm cutting her off, ran to Diane's. I'm past caring. I'm saving every text, every receipt, building a case. I called Mike, told him I'm ready to lawyer up. He said, about time, man. Protect yourself. Diane tried one last trick. She showed up with a mediator, some friend who claimed to be a family counselor. They sat me down, started talking about shared goals, and how Lauren needs security. The mediator slid papers across the table, same old co-ownership nonsense. I laughed, said, I'm not signing anything without my lawyer. Diane slammed her hand on the table, called me paranoid. I stood up, said, I heard you, Diane. I know what you're planning. Her face froze, and the mediator backpedaled, saying it's a misunderstanding. I walked out, left them sitting there. I'm moving fast now. I hired a lawyer, a guy Mike recommended, and laid out everything. Diane's words, the transfers, the papers. He's drafting a plan to secure my assets and says I've got a strong case if it comes to court. I changed the locks on the house, told Lauren she can stay, but not Diane. Lauren came back, tried guilt-tripping me, saying I'm ruining her mom's life. I said, your mom's ruining herself. She cried, but I didn't budge. I'm not heartless, just done being played. Diane's friends are in full attack mode, texting me, calling me a bad husband, saying I'm abandoning Lauren. I forward everything to my lawyer, let him handle it. My sister, Jess, called, said Diane tried to spin a sob story to her. Jess shut it down, told her to leave me alone. My dad texted, you okay? I said, yeah, just fighting for what's mine. He replied, good man. That's all I needed. Last night, I sat Lauren down, no Diane, just us. I said, I know what your mom's doing. Are you with her or me? She wouldn't answer, just stared at the floor. I told her, if you're in on this, we're done. If not, prove it. She left without a word. I'm not sure what's next, but I'm ready. Diane's used to winning by bullying, but I'm not folding. This is my life, and I'm taking it back. It's Ethan again, still 32, and things are coming to a head. I'm not married to Lauren in my head anymore, just stuck in the same house, waiting for the hammer to drop. Diane's been scheming to take everything I've got, and Lauren's either helping or too blind to stop it. I'm not running scared, though. I've got my lawyer, my evidence, and a fire in my gut that says I'm not losing this fight. It's like I'm finally seeing the world clear, and I'm not letting them rewrite my story. Lauren's gone full Cold War. She barely talks, just leaves passive-aggressive notes about trust and family. I found her snooping in the garage, looking through boxes of old paperwork. I asked what she was doing. She said organizing. I locked the garage, added a deadbolt. Diane stepped up her visits, always with a new demand. Fix her condo's dishwasher, pay her cable bill. I tell her no, every time. She tried to barge in last week, banging on the door, yelling about respect. I opened it, said, you're not welcome here, and closed it in her face. She called Lauren, who came home screaming that I'm humiliating her mom. I said, your mom's humiliating herself. The money stuff's out of control. I caught another batch of transfers to Diane, some backdated, like they thought I wouldn't notice. My lawyer's on it, says it's fraud if Lauren's involved. I confronted her, showed her the records. She broke down, admitted she helped mom a little, but swore it wasn't a plan. I didn't buy it. I filed a formal complaint with the bank, froze everything, and told Lauren she's cut off financially. She packed a bag, went to Diane's, and hasn't been back. I'm not just defending now, I'm striking. I listed the condo for sale, sent Diane a legal notice to vacate in 30 days. She freaked, called my lawyer, tried to claim she's a tenant with rights. My lawyer shut it down, said I own it outright, and she's got no leg to stand on. I took photos of everything in the condo, cataloged every item I paid for, and told Diane she can buy it or it's gone. She tried to rally her friends, who started a smear campaign, texting my family, saying I'm abusive. I sent my evidence, texts, recordings, bank records, to Jess, who shared it with the family group chat. My aunt called Diane a leech, and my cousin just said, wow, nobody's buying her act anymore. I met Lauren at a diner, neutral ground, to give her one last chance. I laid it all out, Diane's plan, the money, the lies. I asked, are you with me or her? She cried, said she's caught in the middle, but wouldn't commit. I told her, I'm filing for divorce if you don't choose. She left, sobbing, but didn't call after. My lawyer's prepping the papers, says I've got a strong case for protecting my assets. I changed the house locks, installed more cameras, and moved my valuables to Mike's place for safekeeping. Diane tried one last stunt. She showed up at my work, crying to my boss about how I'm destroying her family. My boss, who's known me for years, told her to leave or he'd call security. I got a restraining order the next day, citing her harassment. My dad called, said, you did what you had to. Mike sent a beer emoji, said, proud of you, man. I'm not celebrating, but I'm standing tall. Diane's running out of moves, and Lauren's got to decide soon. I'm ready for whatever comes. I'm Ethan, 32, and this is probably the last you'll hear from me on this mess. It's been a crazy ride, but it's finally settling. Not with a bang, but with a strange, quiet kind of peace. Diane's been trying to take me for everything. House, money, life, and Lauren was either in on it or too weak to fight her mom. I stood my ground, And now I'm on the other side. Not exactly happy, but free. It's weird how life can turn you into someone you didn't know you could be. After I listed the condo, Diane went quiet. No more texts, no banging on my door. I thought she was planning something big, but my lawyer got a call from her. She was moving out. She'd found a cheap apartment, probably realized she couldn't win. I sold the condo last month, got a good price, and put the money in a locked account. Diane tried to send me mail at my house, bills and junk, but I returned it all, marked wrong address. She's out of my life, and I'm keeping it that way. Lauren was the harder part. After our diner talk, she ghosted me for weeks. Then, out of nowhere, she showed up at the house. No Diane, just her. She looked tired, said she'd been staying with a friend, not her mom. She admitted Diane manipulated her, pushed her to secure the house, but swore she didn't know the full plan. I wanted to believe her, but trust was gone. I told her I'd filed for divorce, and she didn't fight it. She signed the papers last week, agreed to split our stuff fairly. She's moving to her friend's place, starting over. I wished her well, meant it, but I'm not looking back. The fallout was weirdly calm. Diane's friends stopped texting, probably embarrassed. My family rallied. Jess threw a barbecue to celebrate my freedom, and Dad even cracked a smile, said, "You're tougher than I thought." Mike's been my rock, always there with a beer and a bad joke. I'm back to basics. Work, gym, watching football with my dog, Max, who's the only one I trust completely. I sold the house, too. Too many memories. Bought a smaller place, nothing fancy, just mine. Looking back, I see where I went wrong, letting Diane walk over me, thinking Lauren would have my back. I'm not mad anymore, just wiser. I learned to spot the red flags, to stand up before I'm backed into a corner. Diane thought she could outsmart me, thought I'd cave like everyone else. She was wrong. I'm not a hero, just a guy who decided his life was worth fighting for. Last night, I got a text from Lauren, just one line. "I'm sorry." I didn't reply, didn't need to. I'm done with apologies, done with games. I'm building something new, one day at a time. If you're ever in a spot where someone's trying to pull one over on you, don't wait for a miracle. Trust your gut, make your move, and don't look back. I did, and I'm still standing.